No one is immune to feeling threatened, but for Sigma males, the experience can be especially intense. Not because they are weak, but because they are so used to being in control. Their mind is always running at 100 miles per hour, trying to figure out the best way to handle a situation. They are constantly evaluating and re-evaluating their options, looking for any possible advantage. This is a normal part of their mental process, which can be both a strength and a weakness. On the one hand, it allows them to quickly adapt to new situations and find the best solution. On the other hand, it can lead to indecision and paralysis when they are feeling threatened. Of course, not all Sigma males will react the same way when feeling threatened. But there are some common behaviors that many of them will display. They are quiet to think on their feet and usually have a contingency plan for everything. This will give them the time they need to assess a situation and figure out the best way to respond. They are also likely to be more withdrawn and less social when feeling threatened. This is because they are trying to minimize their exposure to potential danger. Sigma men are also very good at reading people and understanding their motives. This helps them to quickly identify who poses a threat and who doesn't. They are always looking for any advantage they can get, trying to gain the upper hand by playing mind games with their opponents, but we'll talk about that a little later. Here are 8 things a Sigma male will do when he feels threatened. 1. They will try to figure out what's causing the threat. The first thing a Sigma male will do when he feels threatened is to identify the source of the threat. He'll want to know if it's something he did or said, or if it's something that's beyond his control. This is important information for him to have so he can determine how to best respond to the threat. Not only will he want to know the source of the threat, but he'll also want to know if it's a real threat or just a perceived threat. This is because Sigma males are very good at distinguishing between the two. If it's a real threat, they'll take it much more seriously as they'll need to take action to protect themselves. If it's just a perceived threat, they'll be more likely to brush it off as they know it's not a real danger. 2. Assess the situation and determine if it's worth fighting for. Once the Sigma male has identified the source of the threat, he'll assess the situation to determine if it's worth fighting for. This is important because Sigma men don't like to waste their time on things that aren't worth their while. If they determine that the situation isn't worth fighting for, they'll quickly move on and forget about it. However, if they decide that the situation is worth fighting for, they'll put all their effort into winning. This is because Sigma males are very competitive and hate to lose. 3. Make a decision about how to respond to the threat. After assessing the situation, the Sigma man will decide how to respond to the threat. This is where their quick thinking and ability to think on their feet comes in handy. Sigma males are very good at making decisions quickly, even under pressure. They'll usually have a contingency plan for every possible situation, which helps them to respond quickly and effectively. They are also not afraid to take risks, which can sometimes lead to making impulsive decisions. However, these decisions are usually well thought out and calculated, so they rarely backfire. 4. Withdraw from the situation if they feel it's too dangerous. If the Sigma male assesses the situation and decides it's too dangerous, they'll quickly withdraw from it. This is because they are not willing to take unnecessary risks. They would rather be safe than sorry, so they'll usually err on the side of caution. This doesn't mean they are cowards, it just means they are smart enough to know when to back down. Being able to walk away from a dangerous situation is a sign of strength, not weakness. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, and you're not a chicken if you choose to walk away. Actually, you're probably a lot smarter than the person who's trying to pick a fight. 5. Play mind games with their opponents to gain the upper hand. If the Sigma male decides to stay and fight, they'll try to gain the upper hand by playing mind games with their opponents. Sigma men are experts at reading people, so they know how to push their buttons and get them to do what they want. They are also very good at manipulating people and using reverse psychology. This allows them to take control of the situation and turn it to their advantage. They don't do this if they don't feel they can win, but if they think they have a chance, they'll use every trick in the book to come out on top. Sigma males use their intelligence and quick thinking to their advantage in every situation. They are always one step ahead of their opponents and are not afraid to play mind games when threatened. 6. Use their wit and humor to diffuse the situation. Another tactic they use to gain the upper hand is to use their wit and humor. This is because they know how to diffuse a tense situation with a well-timed joke. Sigma males are very quick-witted and have a sharp sense of humor. They use this to their advantage by making light of the situation and diffusing the tension. This usually throws their opponents off guard and gives them the upper hand. This won't work every time, but it's a great tactic to use if you want to avoid a fight. It's also a good way to gain the respect of your opponents. If they see that you're not afraid to make fun of yourself, they'll usually back down. 7. Use their observational skills to figure out people's strengths and weaknesses. Sigma males are also very observant. They are always studying people and trying to figure out their strengths and weaknesses. This allows them to find the chinks in their armor and exploit them. They are very good at reading body language, so they know when someone is lying or hiding something. This allows them to see through people and figure out their true intentions. They only do this when they feel threatened, making them seem like they are always on the defense, but in reality, they are just trying to protect themselves from harm. 8. They will try to intimidate the person who is threatening them. This is a very effective tactic that usually leads to the person backing down. Of course, it only works if you're actually intimidating. There are many ways to do this, but the most important thing is how you carry yourself. You need to be confident and exude an air of authority. This will make the person think twice about messing with you. Sigma males usually have no problem doing this, as they are very confident and self-assured. They are very careful about what they say and do, as they know the power of their words. This not only intimidates their opponents but also gains their respect. This tactic is usually only used as a last resort, as it can often escalate the situation. You need to be very careful about how you use it and only do it if you're sure you can handle the consequences. A Sigma male will never start a fight, but they are not afraid to finish one.